Good afternoon and welcome to another InvestorIdeas.com podcast looking at cannabis news, stocks to watch, as well as insights from thought leaders and experts. Today we will be looking at announcements from Canna Royalty Corporation trading on the CSE as CRZ and the OTCQX as CNNRF, FSD Pharma Incorporated trading on the CSE as Huge, and PUF Ventures Incorporated trading on the CSE as PUF. First, looking at Canna Royalty Corporation, a leading North American cannabis products and brand company, announced today that it's closed the previously announced acquisition of FloraCal Farms, a licensed premium craft cannabis producer located in Sonoma Country, California. The evolution of our relationship with FloraCal to close the acquisition today is directly aligned with the strategic framework we have outlined for shareholders and is a model that we intend to replicate in a targeted fashion across key verticals of the California market in the coming years, said Mark Lustig, CEO of Canna Royalty. As one of the state's largest third-party cannabis consumer brand distributors, we are strategically positioned to foster the growth of both our retailer and brand customers' businesses, while generating proprietary market data and consumer insights to ensure we are in a position to acquire or otherwise partner with brand leaders in the space as they establish themselves. Next, looking at FSD Pharma Incorporated, who provided an update on the progress of the joint venture between its wholly owned subsidiary, FV Pharma Incorporated, and Auxly Cannabis Group Incorporated, trading on the TSX Venture as XLY. The first phase of the build-out of the FV Pharma facility in Cobourg, Ontario, has been approved in an updated construction and development budget provided by Auxly. Of the current 620,000 square feet of building space available, 220,000 square feet will be developed and fully funded. As part of the project, Auxly will contribute $55 million to build out the facility. The 220,000 square feet of cultivation and ancillary space will include a research and development lab focused on advancements in LED lighting, nutrient testing, breeding, and genetics research. The first phase will also contain a dedicated space for large-scale extraction capabilities. The company expects first phase construction to be completed and ready for Health Canada approval by the end of December this year. Pending regulatory approval, the company expects to plant the first harvest in the first phase by the end of January 2019. FSD retains a 50.1% stream after all operating expenses are recovered, plus a 10% profit if paid to FSD, of all cannabis and cannabis-derived products produced at the facility, under the partnership with Auxly in perpetuity. And finally, we look at PUF Ventures Incorporated, who announced that the science of plant propagation has arrived for the medical and recreation cannabis growers of Canada. On June 29th this year, the company announced the formation of Propagation Services Canada Incorporated through a partnership with Casey Howling. By outsourcing propagation services, licensed producers of cannabis can significantly increase revenue while reducing the risk associated with cloning cannabis plants. Our partnership with Casey brings the science of plant propagation to the emerging cannabis industry in Canada on a large scale, said Derek Ivany, President and CEO of PUF Ventures Incorporated. We conducted a thorough analysis of the industry and identified how plant propagation will bring scientific benefits to the many licensed producers operating in Canada. Not only does it simplify operations, the additional product gained from the repurposed square footage generates significant incremental revenue. Initial discussions with licensed producers confirms their interest in Propagation Services Canada's products. Greenhouse plant propagation is a specialization that is used all over the world for a wide variety of plants. In Canada, the cannabis industry has become a significant economic force, with the legalization of cannabis scheduled for October of this year. Those licensed producers that eliminate costs and optimize operations will succeed over the long term. With the introduction of propagation and the formation of PSC, PUF has taken a first-mover advantage position with regard to propagation in the cannabis market in Canada. That's all for today's podcast. Podcast is now a certified word trademark on the blockchain through Cognate Incorporated CM certification. If you'd like to be a guest or sponsor on this podcast, please contact InvestorIdeas.com. Investor Ideas reminds all listeners to read our disclaimers and disclosures on the InvestorIdeas.com website, and this podcast is not an endorsement to buy products or services or securities. Investors are reminded all investments involve risk and possible loss of investment.